What up, everybody? This is Darian from Live Life Fearless. Welcome back to another episode of Music Files. Today's date is June 20th, 2018. We had to come right back to Music Files. There's so much going on. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Reese Walker. Say what up to everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Music Files. It's a lot to talk about today. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and as you can see, I'm wearing our new collab hats. Rebel Hat Volume 2.
Fire.
Absolute fire. We're probably about halfway sold out, so if you
what's the back look like?
What's
the back look like?
If you do not have one of these, I suggest you get one while you still can, because they will be gone very shortly.
Definitely.
So there's some heavy stuff we gotta talk about, but before, let's get some light news out of the way. Not too many news items, but the first thing is today or this week, it is exactly 70 years since the first LP as a vinyl was pressed.
Oh. Wow. Damn. 70 years. That doesn't even sound that long.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was actually longer than that. So
yeah, I'm like, what? 70? That's crazy. But that's really tight.
70 years. The first vinyl was let me see, I don't want to mess this up. Mendelssohn's Concerto in E minor, performed by violinist Nathan Milstein with the New York Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra, was the very first vinyl LP, or long playing record.
Dope. That's crazy. I believe it. Classical.
Changed everything.
That's sick.
Just the music in the home. But like you said, 70 years isn't that long. Honestly, I thought it was a lot longer considering all the changes we've been through since then. We went through 8-tracks and cassettes and discs.
I think the trick was trying to figure out the best way to record it on something. Really. It was like literally just like how to get the information on something and have other people
and actually be able to listen to it like at home and stuff. That's the biggest.
Yeah. So
but in 70
it was very
years,
hard
like
up until I guess
formats.
The 1920s.
So, and now 70 years and now it's like, it's funny because this year is like it's coming back
40.
In these past few years.
Yeah, vinyl's fire. Everybody's albums are coming out on
vinyl. You can get Nas album.
I walk by the store. Yeah, for real. Like Run the Jewels' last album's vinyl. Like everybody's. Yeah.
That's the wave now. Everybody wants to get back to that vinyl.
For real though. Solange.
I personally can't say if the sound is that much better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't have a vinyl player. I didn't grow up listening to stuff on vinyl. But, it vinyl must be something if people are spending this much money.
It's dope. It's just a different sound.
Yeah, I might get my bougie hipster wave and go and grab me.
You should.
Grab me a player, some vinyl.
Yeah.
And tell people like, nah, don't listen to that MP3 streaming bullshit. It's vinyl or not at all.
This is for real.
Turn into a real audiophile, buy like $800 headphones.
Going back to the
corded
crates.
headphones.
All the DJs are gonna be happy as fuck.
The $800
back to the crates.
Headphones they got that you can only plug in. They're on wireless.
Oh yeah, for real. Facts.
You gotta get the pure sound while you listen to
you have to have the adapter,
ratchet
the
shit.
headphone adapter, because it's the like stereo headphone. So yeah, it's got the like huge.
I wonder if like this new ratchet shit would sound any different on vinyl. Probably not, right?
No.
I feel like that's more for like
unless you play it a lot. If you play it a lot, it's gonna sound different. Like after the 100th time.
I feel like it's more for like live type of instrumentals than 808s and shit. But
yeah, it's not for like that kind of shit. It's more for like. We
could be wrong. We don't fucking know. We ain't grow up listening to vinyl. Y'all let us know. It's their difference. Because I know for sure you can get like 808s and Heartbreaks on vinyl. I know that came out on vinyl. So I wonder.
Hell yeah.
I'm not at that boot.
No, that sounds tight.
I'm not there yet.
I want to fucking find out now. I know a lot of people with the vinyl, so I just don't get to use it that often, or be around them when they're playing the vinyl.
Right.
So.
Huh.
But
Who knows? But 70 years.
70 years.
And now we've got Spotify and Tidal and Apple Music.
Yeah.
But next, apparently Elvis Presley's $100 million fortune is completely gone. His daughter has filed a lawsuit against the accountant. It's always the accountant. Against the accountant, saying that he mismanaged the funds and they ran out of money.
Elvis Presley ran out of money. That's so funny. I'm like, how is there what?
I think it's a trust fund that was for her specific. I don't know. It's a trust fund, but I'm not sure if it can't be like his net, like his whole estate's worth, right?
His
Because
estate.
$100 million
Like,
sounds
you
like
mean
it's
all of his estate.
way too
Yeah, I was like,
small. Like I know he's not as big as he
100
used to be, but there's still like a lot of Elvis fans
100 million
out there.
for Elvis is low.
Feels low, right?
Yeah, that's definitely low.
Could just be a trust fund. It can't be the whole estate because that'd be crazy. If Elvis was
That
only worth
doesn't even
100.
make sense. Then they would definitely be fucking. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense because a lot of people have better estates
I
than
mean,
that.
Prince is worth like $1 billion, and so is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like after him. So if Elvis made that impact before them and his records were still playing all this time, it's definitely going to be more than 100 million.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting, but either way,
Well,
they're having some problems over there.
so it's definitely her account then, I guess.
Or I mean,
Her black
she
card.
did get
I don't know.
countersued. she did get countersued. He said that. He said that she was basically fucking up the money, spending too much.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Johnny Depp situation. So
Exhibit A, her credit card. No one asked her to buy this. Like, this is $100,000 a month, and these are not like necessary expenses. Like, I bet that's like she probably was on some shit. What else we got?
Lauryn Hill's Miseducational tour openers include Nas, SZA, A$AP Rocky, MIA, and Busta Rhymes.
Oh, that's fire. That's crazy. Interesting. MIA. MIA.
Crazy, right? That's a crazy opening.
That's dope. That's lit.
That'd definitely be a tour I would want to check out, even though I've heard some terrible things about Lauryn Hill performing. But
Yeah, I heard that, but then I heard that she's making a comeback
getting
and not
better.
caring more.
she's actually
Yeah.
giving a fuck about.
Yeah, I think like since like maybe about 2 years ago is when she started caring again. Like, cause she like just toured. She was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do the festivals again, guys." And then everybody went to the festivals, and then she like didn't give a fuck. And then people left Coachella like, "Oh man, that was the worst Lauryn Hill performance." So she was doing shit like that for a while, but I think she cares
I
because she's
hope
going
so.
viral with a lot of her shout outs. She shouts out a lot of new artists. Like she does like the samples, the Drake and Cardi B samples for Care For Me and Nice For What.
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill does her own version. She actually like remixed, she wrote lyrics and rapped over the songs, like her own verses and shit. Like it was crazy. I saw some clips, so it's like really cool.
Man, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I would want to see it. But I'd be pissed if she put on a bullshit like performance, you know?
Yeah, it'd be a waste of time.
It's like, why we wait
are we
20
here
years
for
for this?
For real. For real, though. That's not the wave. If I go to Lauryn Hill for the first time and it's bad, it's going to ruin my, like, dreams, you know? Like, you just be sad.
Um,
You just that's a poor segue.
yeah, but I'm just done with Lauryn Hill right now.
I know, but the way the last thing I said was like,
CyHi might be having his own 7-track project coming with Kanye.
oh, CyHi, the CyHi news. That's so funny. What do you really think about that though? Like, what is this CyHi? Like, oh,
What do you mean? What I really think about it? That'd be dope as fuck.
why the fuck didn't he already have a 7 out? Like, why?
He wasn't part of that. Is he even on Good Music still? I thought he was like off Good Music. He's just being managed or something.
CyHi is the ghostwriter.
Yeah, but he's just being managed, isn't he?
Yeah, but by Good's his management. I don't think he's actually officially signed.
I don't. No, he got off. That's what I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he got off and he's chilling with them. I think he signed. Is he signed to Universal? Maybe. I think he might have got a different deal, but still fucks with them all the time.
I mean, at this point, it shouldn't even be 7 tracks. Like, bro, like you missed that whole wave because he's gonna miss the whole wave, the whole summer 7-track wave.
Yeah. Well.
Because it's not even that. Like, it's not like they worked on it. He just tweeted out something saying that Kanye said that, oh, it's time for you to get your project.
Well, Kanye put out a lot of shit real fast. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past him.
Coming out this year?
CyHi can rap anything.
I don't think so.
They can make an album in a night if they really wanted to.
I don't think so.
Kanye. Yeah,
Kanye got a lot of other stuff, just than music, so I don't see him being able to do that.
Oh, they probably had shit in the bag and probably just all they have to do is.
He said it's time for you to get your, like, we need to start set aside stuff for you.
Oh, okay. I think. Well, CyHi always
setting these. He said, "Man, we got to start setting these ideas aside for your 7 songs. Ideas, not anything produced or
okay.
There's still just an idea prize. They ain't coming this year. I'd be surprised if it comes at all. You know how long it took to get a CyHi album?
Like 8 years. I don't know. At least we got it. Like, where's Jay Electronica at?
Jay ain't never coming. Well, my film. He ain't never coming out.
Yeah.
So tired of hearing his name.
Facts. But every now and then a verse will slide. I'll hear a song that he's on, and I'll be like, "Ooh, that was kind of fire." And then I'll realize that there's not very much music.
I don't even get excited anymore. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you're not putting out music, like, I don't really care.
Facts.
So it's not that hard to put out music.
Yeah.
Last thing, Chance the Rapper brought out Childish Gambino at some high school event. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
And he performed like the whole "This Is America"
Oh, really?
song. Yeah.
No, I didn't see that. That's pretty cool though.
Chance is known for some cool stuff every now and then.
Chance. Yeah, what's Chance doing? Is he gonna put out a project this year?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know.
I heard he was on that one song, that Future and yeah, that Future song.
The Future song.
My Peak.
Never heard.
Oh, you gotta listen to it.
Is it off of that that new soundtrack for, was it a new Superfly remake?
It might be. I don't even know. I was getting confused.
Probably because there was a bunch of new songs like not by Future, or it's like either by Future or like for that.
Yeah, I was confused. I don't know who it was for sure, but
it was probably because Future is producing the soundtrack for Superfly, which is like set in Atlanta.
Remember when I asked you if he was doing a rollout? I was like, "Is Future doing a rollout?"
He is for.
So now we know what he's rolling out. Like, I didn't know what he was rolling out for. I just like there wasn't like I didn't know he was producing.
I mean, everything I've heard so far has been kind of, and
well, they're not like epic, but they're still good songs. They're like, and
the movie looks terrible, so I'm not that excited for it, you know.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, "What is this movie?" I was so confused.
It looks real bad.
What is that? Like,
yeah, so I'm not sure I'm not really feeling this. I'm for sure not going to see this. Straight to DVD. Yeah. But so yeah, that's it for like the positive news and whatever. So we got to get to the big the big happening that everybody is talking about over the last few days. For sure, you've all heard by now, but XXXTENTACION was shot dead. I don't know what 4 days ago, something like that. At the age of 20,
Yeah.
and his I don't know if it was his hometown, but he was in South Florida, bike shopping. So
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Honestly, that's some tragic stuff right there.
tragic as fuck,
Yes.
honestly.
I saw the news maybe 3 hours after he died, and I sat down. I just got home or something after work around 6, so it happened around like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And so it was like broad daylight, it wasn't like, it was dark or some shit. Like he was like out, but he was out in his I-8, like his real fancy car or whatever. And I think he was Instagramming, like, oh, I'm out, yo, I'm like, or going to like, he kind of like outed where he was going or something.
Did he?
I think so. So apparently, or that's at least what I heard
I don't know.
from Ak.
I don't listen to Act,
But
so I for sure don't know.
oh, the only reason I listen to Ak is because Ak talked to
Because that's your
that
guy
nigga for, like,
deep down,
3
man. Quit
hours.
playing.
Ak talked to that nigga for like 3 hours, dog. I was like, okay, nobody's ever talked to X that long.
Nah.
That's the only reason.
Apparently, okay, we'll get to that in a second, but apparently, Ack and him had like some falling out, so they're not even cool no more. They weren't even cool anymore.
Yeah.
But let's not get to Ack right now. Let's continue talking about this situation.
Well, X apparently, so two guys in red masks. That's what the report says, or something. I
Two
don't know
guys
if
wearing a
it's-
hoodie and like maybe possibly some red mask. Yes, driving like a black Dodge SUV or van or something.
Yeah, apparently just gunned him down.
Broad
He was
daylight.
only 20.
20.
I mean, what year did he come out? His career was so short.
What, like 3 years ago, maybe?
A year. We'll give him a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Not like
at the
2
most.
years, bro. More than 2.
2?
Yeah, at least 2.
2. Yeah, 2 or 3.
I mean, he really blew up like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But this shit was unexpected. Like, and people
I
die.
thought somebody was trolling me. I thought it was a joke.
Well, I saw
I
it
was
on
like, there's
Instagram
no way.
first, and then I was like, hold on. I have to like check this out. Like, I was in shock. I'm not like I've never been like a huge X fan. It wasn't even until this last album that I actually listened to like his full project.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like this kid is. I mean, we talked about it. I was like, yo, this kid is
Yeah, we both liked
talented,
it.
bro. I was like, clearly he's talented. Like he has something here, and like, and I was excited to see where he could go from there.
Yeah.
People die like every day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not necessarily tragic all the time. Like celebrities even die, like whatever. Like, and a lot of times in music, people die from like drug overdose and stuff like this. And
Right.
but the way he was gunned down and killed at like 20 years old, just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's
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 been bugging me
crazy.
the last few days. It just does not sit right. That he was killed like that and in broad daylight. And I mean, I didn't really know how to react to it. It's just
I'm still confused.
it just didn't make
Just, like,
sense.
in shock. I'm still like, yeah, I'm just like I don't know how to I just don't understand. Like I just don't get it. Like
No,
I
it
just
just doesn't make sense at all.
no. Cuz it's not like it's not like he's like an artist like we really like we're championing, but we like thought about like, oh, this kid's, got a future. And he was already doing different stuff, like this like, short album thing. He was doing the short short minutes. Like all his songs were like under 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he changed. You could tell he was going to have a huge impact on music and the way it goes forward, and like you heard a lot of shitty things about him, like personality wise, character wise. Like my first introduction to him was like through the bullshit, was through the fighting and through like all the beef and shit and like the just the nonsense of it all. And I don't really fuck with that at this point. Like it's just like, all right, what is your music saying?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Like, and he had those allegations of like beating his girl and shit like that, when she was going to court for like constantly. But like,
Right.
so I don't know all of that situation because I wasn't really following it. I was just like, I was just another idiotic kid, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But like after I listened to his music, I kind of paid attention a little bit more, and it just felt like he was trying to be more positive in general,
Yeah.
and to like separate himself from all that bullshit, and to like preach positivity, and to like reach out, and to like put that positive energy on the world versus like the negative shit that it was surrounding his name and like everything else before.
Yeah.
And then just like to see him at 20, like not even get a chance to like to see that progress and to see it all the way through. So actually become like a man, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucked up. It wasn't like, I mean, I don't know his whole situation, but I didn't feel like there was any situation he was in that was that serious to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was crazy because honestly, for at least the last 6 months, he's been on a campaign of positivity and giving back. So like, for it to be him like doing all this stuff, and for people to come out of the woodwork like this and in murder, dude, like what? Like what does that even accomplish? Like even it like he couldn't even had more than like like the money, like you murdered him over the money, like
I don't know
like
the whole situation. I mean, from what
we don't know. We don't know
what
if
the
it was
details
him.
I've had and like heard, and like I guess they like found some witnesses that explain the situation, like everything that happened leading up to it.
Yeah.
But from what like I've heard, it just doesn't feel like it was random. It doesn't feel like it was like a robbery attempt, honestly.
It
It
does.
felt like a setup. It felt like they knew where he was going to be, and they were specifically targeting him.
Yeah.
Um,
I will tell you, there's some other stuff bothering me online. Just like, not just even comments, but like, there's an artist that people are like trying to say was involved or some shit
yeah,
that with the red mask.
yeah.
So he posted a video the next day, a music video, literally the next day, where all the dudes in the video have red X's on their eyes, and there's red masks over their faces with the guns and shit. And I was like, did you not see the fucking news, dog? Like, what's happening here? Is this real? Like, I was so confused and disgusted that it came out, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I was so confused.
Wait,
And
he
everybody
did
was
that
pointing at this dude, too.
the next day?
Yeah, it was the next day. It was literally the day after he died, dog. This video came out. I don't know. I can look it up right now. I gotta see.
I mean, I know what kid you're talking about, but like I didn't know it was like the next day in that series or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, a music video, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" It was the most tasteless, disgusting shit.
Hey,
I
before
was like,
before we continue, you're frozen, so like turn off your camera, turn it back on.
okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm disgusted by a lot of things. I don't know if there's whatever's involved or whatever. That's not like my job. That's for the police to decide.
Right.
But I am disgusted by like the people who were videoing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like his basically
my
lifeless
God,
body
that's so
in
fucking
the
disgusting.
car. Then like
What are
with
you
the
taping
blogs
for?
and shit, posting the shit. Like, yo, this is somebody's son, bro. It's somebody's brother. Like,
So
if that was my brother or my like son, I I don't know. I would lose my mind if I saw somebody posting
If there was shit
videos of
just
this,
fucking floating around, people
like
are passing
on the
it
internet.
around.
Like it was
Look at
just
my,
like
look
it's
at
just
this
some shit
dead
to
kid.
like look at and just to like talk about, and
That would be
that
so
part's
fucked
disgusting to me. Like that like blogs and shit who
I
post
haven't
that
even
shit.
looked at.
I haven't
I
looked at any of them,
seen
but I've
any
heard
of that
it and I
shit.
see
I'm
like
not looking
titles and
for
shit.
it.
I'm
I
like,
don't want to see it.
bro, are we at this point? Like really? We're at this point where we'll post somebody's like basically dead just for clicks, just to get people to watch some shit. Like, is this the point we're at? That shit was
That makes
disgusting,
me
bro.
feel
Like I was
sick.
like, Jesus.
That does make me feel sick, like literally, but like I like feel more sick.
I mean, I feel sick about this whole situation. Like, the kid was 20.
Yeah.
No matter what troubles he's had in the past, like, he was still a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's like
Like
20.
I wasn't even the shit I was doing when I was 20.
He's a kid who's like
years old.
living through the public eye. Like,
It's crazy. Like he's growing. He literally grew up like in front of us. He was basically living out the best times we have, and like all the college kids know those years when you're fucking like 18 to 20, 21, like 17, you know, up to
figuring
that.
shit out.
That's like you're like growing into a man. Like you're not there yet, or you're growing into the human that you want to become. So you make weird, you know, mistakes, and you like, okay, I shouldn't go
you
that
make
hard.
stupid
or,
decisions,
okay,
bro.
I need to
And
do this.
You act impulsively,
You know,
emotionally.
like I learned my limits in drinking then before I could drink. Like that's how crazy I was, you know. So like for this kid, like way back, like he can't even go through mistakes and learn from them. You know, like he never got the chance to live past anything, any life. He never got the life.
I don't know, man. This whole situation just made me feel like really sick, bro. Like this is just doesn't make sense to me. I hope whoever did it for sure gets caught. Like this is bullshit. Like it doesn't make sense. I'm not even like I said, we weren't like championing his music and like, you know, go listen to him. Like this is like we're not stans, we're not like huge fans. It was just like, yo, this kid had potential and he had talent. Like there's nothing worse than like wasted talent. And especially to go out like this
For real.
in broad daylight, like
Yeah,
it
that's
just doesn't make
fucking
sense.
Crazy. Like what? What? Like really? That's crazy. It just is crazy. That shit is crazy. Cause the kid was trying to do good. That's what's so crazy.
And then I watch like the
right when the
coverage
guy
afterwards.
tries to do better with his life and everything. Oh, I'm not fighting no more. I don't do none of this crazy shit. Yo, positivity, give back. I want you to do something for somebody today. You know, like all that stuff. And then now all we get to do is remember him through his music. And honestly, that's what a lot of people have been doing. His album, I think, is streaming #1 right now.
Of course, they love you when you're gone, man.
Yeah.
People wasn't. I mean, a lot of people wasn't rocking like that before, but of course, always when somebody dies, especially in a way like this.
Well, a lot of people didn't even know who he was, and now they're listening to see who he was.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
you
they're
die in a
finding
way
out
like
about
this,
him now.
and for sure, your music and the streams and everything go way up, and sales go way up. But I mean, what's the point? Like, you're not here.
Yeah. He's probably gonna have a posthumous album.
Probably, but how much? I mean, it's fucked up, and the coverage, the way they coverage it, was fucked up.
The whole
Just this whole situation is
everything.
fucked
This
up,
whole thing, yeah. I don't even. Yeah.
and it just has not been sitting right with me. And it's just like, hopefully, we say this every time. Hopefully, something positive comes out of this, and just the young hip hop community in general. I mean, we said the same thing about after Lil Peep and like Fredo and all them. Hopefully, they take heed of this shit. Like, yo, this reckless talking, reckless living, like reckless everything. It's okay to a point, but it's gotten out of hand, really, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's like, how serious are we getting here? Like, this is still just music at the end of the day, and it's really not that serious. It's not
'Cause that's
worth
the whole
dying
thing,
at like
is
20
like-
years old for.
Yeah, like, let's be real. Do you want to live? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, it even had what's his name,
cool.
6ix9ine, coming out and saying like, "Oh, I'm rethinking my old trolling, blah blah blah." Like,
right? Yeah. I mean, hopefully that was a genuine sentiment. I know they had a interesting relationship. I don't know if they were fully cool, the 6ix9ine and X, but yeah. I mean, Tekashi. I mean, he's going through a lot of shit too, though.
his is self-inflicted, self-imposed.
Yeah,
He's asking
been
for it.
investigated.
He's literally
he's been
asking for it,
investigated
though.
for the Chief Keef shooting thing that was going on.
I mean, that's kind of a fucked up thing. Like, he's asking for it while like X was like trying to get away from it, and still.
Exactly. Like X was not provoking any of that energy.
All I can say is I'm pretty sure it's probably somebody he either knew or somebody knew, like they knew each other in some type of way. Like, this wasn't random to me. So I mean, like I said, hopefully like the young hip hop community like takes heed of this shit. Like, we kind of went through the same. I'm not gonna say like Tupac, because Tupac was definitely on a different level, but it was just that kind of like
Tupac got 5 more years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he did more. That's what
been.
I'm saying. Like, he did more at that point, but like, it was like a wake up call for a lot of artists. Yeah. Like, yo, like, hold on, let's slow down. Like, what are we really doing here? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, and it's even worse now with the social media aspect to it, because now it's like you're doing everything to a whole nother level just for videos, just for likes, just for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's outrageous, because that's what people are literally sitting down in their fucking, like, alone, where there's no people around, thinking about how to find a way to get 1 million people to click on my shit, you know? Like, so people with no life and no, like, sometimes it's crazy how much influence. Ooh, because Nas even has some bars in his new album about some shit like that too.
Can we just talk about, like, I mean, it's not gonna be popular with a lot of people, but like, honestly, there is influence in music, especially in hip hop, which is the biggest music form in the world. Like, there's no arguing it.
Yeah.
And I know it's always used as that whole saying, like, oh, we're just emulating what we see with our daily lives, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, that's cool to a point. But in general, I would say probably about 80 or 90% of the rappers these days don't actually live those lives, weren't actually surrounded by that type of lifestyle.
Right.
And they're not reporting, or they're not talking about those situations in like a constructive type of way. They're just glorifying it.
Yeah.
Whereas when we was like Tupac, like Nas, everybody else, they were definitely gangster rap, and they were gangster rap 100%, violent lyrics, all that, but they were talking about it in a completely different way, where it wasn't just we're glorifying what's everything happening. Like, this is what is happening. This is fucked up. Like, why is it like this? Like, questioning shit. And at this point, like, now it's just, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Oh, now everybody's op, or like whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, now it just became the point where we're just glorifying this fucked up aspect of like our culture. And to sit there and be like, it has no influence on kids, and it has no influence on how people act. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's not being responsible. That's not being realistic, because just look at how people's lives have changed since hip hop came about, and to tell me that that hasn't
these
influenced
musicians
people?
And these artists would be liars. I mean, the Migos said it themselves. If you say you're the culture, then you influence culture.
It's impossible.
You influence everything. Like what are you saying? Like, if you're the culture, then you talking about the Draco is gonna make the culture want to know what a Draco looks like, or how it feels, where it is. What's a Draco? Okay, that's a Draco.
If y'all are talking about, I don't go anywhere without my gun, I'll pull up on me, I'll pull out on sight, stuff like that. Like,
oh yeah,
That's gonna make you like think, okay, I need to be this way. Like this is the way it is. This is the way it should be. Like,
right?
bro, like
And then they're gonna think that's cool. Like, oh, y'all don't have the blah blah blah, and they don't. They're like
facts.
unprepared, untrained, unfocused. Like, not supposed to have shit. Trying to be cool because they actually are emulating lyrics and shit. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but
Come on.
yeah, I feel like the wave's gonna change though. I feel like the wave's gonna change.
At some point, I feel like something has to change in the culture
Yeah.
because
It's the
at this
youth.
point,
It's the youth.
it's the
though.
kids. It's not even adults going about this. It's kids killing kids, and I guarantee the people who
Yeah.
shot him were probably around his age too. And it's like, yo, for what? Like, what's the point? Like, we're out here like
For real.
genociding and killing like our own people, like our own communities
Yeah.
because of some lyrics, because of the stuff that's said in music. Like, what's the point at the end of the day?
Right.
I just feel like
Yeah.
I love gangster rap as much as anybody else, but I feel like at some point the mentality has to change with people, especially the youth.
But honestly, though, I think that's why there's such a weird stigma about beef right now. Like, but this is like we don't know anything about this.
Hey, I
It's
don't know
still
about
just
this. This is
violence
beef,
in
but
general. That's why beef is such a weird thing. It's so weird in hip hop because we encourage it. But like, if something bad happens, then
this is my point. Like,
who do
we
we blame?
encourage it
Who
shit
do we
in all of our
blame?
lyrics and blah, blah, blah. But then when it happens, we're like, oh, this is a tragedy. This is fucked up. This shouldn't be
Yeah,
happening.
because I mean, like, what if Drake actually did end somebody's career and then Drake got clapped for it?
I mean,
Then what
why
would
are
we
talking
do?
about
What would we say
Drake's
after that?
situation? Like,
I mean, what if he got clapped after the beef? Like, what if he really did do some shit and then he got clapped? Then somebody on the side that he said something about was like, "Oh hell nah."
this sounds to
thought
me
he
like
could
you're
take it
giving.
there 'cause
So
we-
hold on. Now, are we going from X getting gunned down to Drake
Well, somebody.
to you giving excuses for Drake not going back at Pusha T?
Oh, no excuses. I'm just saying. Well, so what if
This
what if
sounds
Pusha
like
T
you're
got
giving him
clapped?
an excuse.
What if Pusha T got hurt or something and he comes back the next week and he's like, "Oh shit, you know, I don't know who it was, but these guys ran up on me." And it was just like they used to do that back in the day before social media. Ask Suge Knight what happens. What happens in
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you
I
doing?
don't know. I'm terrible at the segue right now.
What are you doing right now?
I'm trying to like not be like sad anymore.
What are you doing?
I don't want to talk about sad stuff. I want to talk about
No, we were talking about some
music
real
just came
shit.
out.
Like, we're talking about, look, lyrical content in hip hop. Like, at some point, when is it?
Well-
When is it okay? Like, I mean, like we were just talking about, you can't glorify the shit and say, oh, if you're not about this, then you're not real.
that part of the like.
If you're not about this, if you don't carry a gun, if you won't shoot somebody, if you're not ready to die about this shit, you're not real. But then when that kid gets killed,
Yeah.
when that person is gunned down, when somebody does lose their life, then it's like, oh, we gotta stop the violence.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we doing? You just killing each other. Like, all this is bullshit. You gotta change the mentality. But then you go back to rapping about, I'm gonna kill you, run up on me, blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, what do you, like,
Yeah.
where's the line? Like, you can't be both. You can't be both.
But do you think that influences like these streaming services too, though? More like if more incidents like this happen, you think they're
No,
gonna, like,
because it's the
actually-
bottom line. The only thing that influences the streaming service is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Period.
No.
Period. And I mean, I'm not saying like X was even rapping about this stuff because he really wasn't even talking about like killing people
Nah.
and blah blah blah. But I'm just saying like that part of the culture is just it's become so prevalent, so strong. Like even he wasn't the only one that died on that day. Jimmy Wapple, another rapper from Pittsburgh, was gunned down.
Yeah.
He was obviously much lesser known, so people don't really talk about that. But at the same time, it's like, yo, these are kids out here just like getting killed for what?
Yeah, he was 21, I believe. Jimmy Watt.
For what? And we can't be like, oh,
That's
you
crazy.
if you talk to police, you're not real. If you're not about that life, if you're not shooting, if you don't got a gun, if you're not ready willing to kill each other for this, you're not real. But then you die, let's stop the violence. Or somebody gets killed by a cop. the violence has to end. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, that double standard is bullshit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for real though. That's just gun violence in America just needs to be addressed.
And here's the thing. I think, in general, like, especially the black community, the black culture, because we are so heavily influenced by hip-hop and we heavily influence hip-hop, is that I think most people would grow out of that mentality as they get older through life. You start to see, like, the real shit about life, and, like, you realize, like, yo, what are we doing? Like, what's the point of this? Why am I doing this? But either at that point, when you're that old,
right,
you've gone too far into it, you can't back out.
You'd assume.
Or you don't even get to that point. What's happening is that now kids aren't even getting to that point. You can go down like 16, 17, 18.
Yeah. No chance. No chance to grow, like I said. No life. This is...
I just think at
and
some
that's
point...
why this, with this drug shit, too. Like, they're killing themselves with this fucking... on accidental
killing each other for on either drugs killing us, which you can't even tell me that's not influenced by music. Because people were not doing syrup and all that shit before it started popping up.
That shit was not like a thing. It was just like, if you did that
people were doing it, but not on this scale, bro. Like,
nah.
It wasn't like, oh, this is the cool shit to do. Oh, you don't drink syrup?
6 people.
Like, come on, bro.
There's 6 people out of like 100 at the party that were drinking lean.
Do you remember the first time we ever even heard lean was like in like Swish House music rap? In Colorado, he was like, yo, what the fuck is this? What was he talking about, lean? And like, oh, this is, they drink cough syrup and
that's scissor. We're like, oh, word? That's what lean is? They're like, yeah, scissor.
And then guess what happened? Like a year or two later, everybody was drinking fucking scissor and lean.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, y'all we can't keep acting like it has zero influence on it. Like, come on, bro. That's stupid as fuck. Like, obviously it does. Especially on the young kids. I'm not saying, like, as they get older, it's still influencing you like that. But, like, when you're young, you think that's the cool way? You think that's the cool shit? Of course you're going to try to emulate that, bro.
Yeah, man. Definitely. I mean, shit. I mean, they won that Grammy for, like, It's Hard Out Here to Be a Pimp. Like, Juicy J way back. So, like, if that's a Grammy-winning song, you know?
I mean, that is a fact. It's hard out here for a pimp.
So, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're going to promote whatever. Like you said, the bottom line. Like, hey.
I'm just saying, like, man, like, this whole situation was fucked up, and, like, it's just tired. It's just a tired story. It's a really fucking tired story of, like, a talented kid losing their life either to drugs or some violent shit, like some unnecessary shit. Yeah. And it's just like, at some point, the music has to change. The mentality has to change in the community.
Because it happens way too frequently
in the culture, and it happens far too often and way too much, and it's by our own people. It
happens here and there in other genres.
Not at this rate.
Like, I can remember like Christina Grimmie, and like
that was like a crazy stalker fan, some like psycho shit.
Yeah, that was crazy.
This wasn't like, yo, this is somebody I've grown up around since I was like fucking 2 years old.
Yeah.
Now I got popping. Now he wants to go. Now he's jealous. Now he wants to kill me.
Right.
Like, it's not even people outside of the community you grew up in. It's always the community you grew up in.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, honestly, all I gotta say is once you get popping, like, people like, don't leave the hood, yo, you leave the hood, but like, bro, like, get out, bro. Like, I'm sorry, like,
oh yeah, get out. The hood. Especially these Florida fucking rappers. If you are a rapper in Florida, why the fuck are you in Florida, my G? Or Louisiana or Mississippi? Like, I get it. Well, maybe you could stay if you can find your own land. If you get your own land or some shit. But don't stay in the hood. Like, in the hood.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I think it's fucked up right now, culturally, because we're acting like it's cool in music to, like, we're saying, like, in music, like, it's cool to stay in the hood and to be hood, and like no, that's not the goal. That's never been the goal. Like, the hood is like, yeah, it's cool and great that you made it through that fucked up situation, But it's not cool that you were even in that situation in the first place. Like, that's what we're saying as people. Like, we've been basically subjected to these situations.
Everyone's trying,
and that's not our goal. It's never been our end goal.
We're trying to get out.
And the worst part is that people, like, we're tricking ourselves into thinking like being good and being part of the hood is like the end goal.
Right.
And that's never it. That's never it, bro.
The hood thing. I'm gonna make the hood thing the part that is the most like glorified, the most important, and like instead of like, because nobody's really going introspective, like telling us about shit, about that life. Really.
Nas did. Kendrick did.
I mean, yeah, a few.
J. Cole did.
J-Rock
does. Jay does. What you mean? There's a lot of people. It's just the quickest way out is to sell that bullshit. Yeah.
There's just a lot of other people. There's just more other people. I'd say.
Yeah, vastly.
For every person you name, there's 3 or 4.
Vastly, because they're not for the right reason. First of all, doing it. It's just to get out themselves, and they don't give a fuck about nobody else. They don't give a fuck about what happens. Like, they just went out, exactly. And even when they're out and they're no longer even part of that life, we're gonna keep pushing this life and glorifying this life.
If this Instagram and internet fucking clout shit keeps going on, it's definitely gonna, like, people are gonna die because just off this internet shit alone. Like, not people are going out,
people are dying off this internet and shit. Like, come on, bro. This is just out of hand. But I mean, rest in peace, man, to XXXTENTACION. That was,
God bless the dead. Rest in peace.
So it was a crazy situation, and man, it didn't sit right with me at all. It's just completely unnecessary. Like, he had, like, you know, could have had a bright future, man. I'm just tired of hearing these stories. Hopefully something comes out of this, man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any fucking shit like this. Stars, just people too soon. I don't want to hear too soon. I don't like too soon things. No more violence, no more death. Too soon,
be like, oh, you had cancer, you passed away, and, you know, something like you have no control over, but like, just somebody getting gunned down, like, you killing yourself by overdosing on drugs. Like, bro, like, this is a tired story, man. It really is. But if you didn't know how big his influence was, man, you just had to see, like, that scene. There was a riot in LA, basically. Mm-hmm. Clear across the country from where he was from. Fans and, I mean, not all fans. Some people were just going out there just to fuck shit up. But fans in memorial to X, man. And it's just sad, man. Sad day.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
shocking.
You gotta go on. Musically, we just talked about Nas and him talking about, but it just came out right when we were ending our podcast last time, man. You know, we've had the weekend to digest it, so let me know what you thought, dog.
Oh, the Nas. Well, Nas came with that knowledge. He was dropping. Nas gave me what I was expecting, but then, like, with more, because it was Kanye's production. So Kanye's been hitting with his production. The 7 series is a nice little, like, oh, thanks, Ye, because you haven't been making a lot of shit. Like, your last shit was the Yeezus, and he hasn't been doing a lot for other people. So the production's fire. Also, because the stream was late last time, I did listen to the pre-stream, like the listening party stream.
Yeah.
And listen to the official stream. So for people that got the listening party stream, you should delete it because
it's garbage. Like I told you. Like I fucking told you.
Like Dario said, there are definitely important elements in the songs that you have to have
garbage
in order to even enjoy it the right way.
Listen to me, bro. It's the same. No, it's not.
they're like 90% the same, but then the part that's not, you need for it to like.
No, it's not, bro. Get off them stream rips, bro. This was garbage.
No, it is. It's literally the same song. It's like
garbage. It sounds.
It's an early version.
Quality is garbage though.
No, but it's an early version. It's literally. It has like 3 less layers like of song. Like there's like an ad-lib vocal. I have the version without Puff on it. Like so. Then I heard the Puff version and was like, Puff's all over this shit? What the fuck?
So you would have...
I was so confused. I was like, oh
if
no.
If you would have been in my car and threw that on, I'm like, yo, get this bootleg shit out of here, bro. What you got?
Bro, the Puff
like
version...
Like knock off J's, bro. What you doing, dog?
I'll tell you that. Puff ruined that part for me, dog. I'm telling you right now. That Puff feature was unnecessary.
Come on, man. Puff got to talk his shit.
On a Nas album?
Dog, don't act like Puff and Nas ain't worked before, bro. Stop that.
I know, but...
You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. Come on, dog. What you mean?
He wasn't giving me that energy, though. He was just like...
Puff always gives energy.
Hype manning it.
Puff always gives energy.
He was just getting like... like, not like that, but it wasn't unnecessary. I didn't care for that part. But overall, like I said, Kanye was killing production. Nas, let's see. So he had a song. So, oh my God, just the samples. The Cop. I gotta look at the soundtrack. What's the Cop song?
Cop Shot the Kid.
Cop Shot the Kid.
One of the best songs on the album, for sure. Nice. It got that old school Slick Rick kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
that bounce and whatever, and then it's got that the storytelling element from Nas. Like it was just a dope throwback, but like still modern. Like it was like everything about the production for me was Ye production with the sampling and everything, but still very stylistically Nas. Like it still sounded like Nas. Exactly. Like it didn't sound like some like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or like a Kanye album. Like it sounded like Nas.
Oh, it felt like it was for Nas. It felt like it was.
Oh, it was definitely catered specifically for him. Like it didn't feel like he was changing up his sound so drastically that he's like going commercial with it or anything like that. Like it was just clean samples, some crazy samples about, you know, some of the best production that you can ever get basically. And then like, but still very his style, still very Nas, still very true to that hip hop like roots and shit.
Yeah.
For me, Cop Shot the Kid was a highlight, and Adam and Eve was fire. That bounce was crazy.
That was the other one I was gonna say.
That was like, those two were basically like what I wanted from a Ye and like Nas pairing specifically. Like that sound. Like when I heard Adam and Eve, I was like, yeah, this is the sound that I was like thinking in my mind. When I heard like Nas and Ye together, like this is what I wanted right here.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. I kind of wanted more. And then sometimes something different. Actually, everything, even though it's really long, it's actually really perfect.
Really long? It's 7 tracks.
No, everything.
Oh, okay. Everything was a great song. I love that song.
Everything's a long song.
Very inspirational. Like you said about Nas. Like Nas, like he talks about the hood and he talks about the fucked up situation, but he talks about it from a different perspective and from like a manner of like, you never feel like this is where I want to be or this is the end goal. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the life. It sounds like, yo, this is how life is, but this isn't how it should be. That's how it feels. Yeah. So it's classic Nas, like classic Nas storytelling, classic Nas, like the messaging. He gives some questionable history lines and shit about like history and like some conspiracy theories and shit like that.
Definitely basically some interesting.
It felt like there might be a little fake woke shit in there from Nas.
Yeah, you never know. There was a few things I was just like
anti-vaccine.
I don't know if I'm gonna Google like that right now. Like, ooh, what'd you say?
He was like anti-vaccine.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. There's just the whole thing on hospitals that he was talking about.
Like I said, he throws some questionable wisdom out there.
Definitely some conspiracy, some But it's not. You can't say fake. It's just conspiracy woke. It's not fake woke.
I can say very unproven. uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's Nas. Like if you listen to any,
that was where I was confused, and it was in the middle of that. Like that was in everything. I think that was a bar in there, so that's why I was confused. I was a little bit like
people have been kind of like picking that shit apart, but like for me, like I'll give it a pass because at the end of the day, he is talking about like he's basically giving lessons out, and he's like speaking about like blackness and just like our heritage, and we're more than what we think we are, and like raise yourself up type of shit. Like, so it's coming from like a positive cultural aspect. So like I always give him a pass for that shit, but there were some questionable lines in there.
Yeah, I mean not for the radio. Just hits you with
a whole bunch of shit.
A whole bunch of shit, and you're just like, is the whole album gonna be like this? Like,
but it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
Specifically that song.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Nas. If you've heard any Nas album over the last 4 or 5 albums, you know kind of what to expect from what his lyrical content is going to be.
Yeah. But I mean, not for the radio. I got not just because of the like vocal, but like also because like the shit he's saying.
No,
like,
specifically, that's what I'm talking about. His lines
on
and
the
shit.
radio,
The
like,
stuff he was
yeah.
spitting out there.
Is not for the radio.
But he's still a god MC, bro. Like, he's still god MC. One of the greatest to ever do it, for sure.
He definitely did that. The album's fresh.
I don't know that it's better than Daytona, though.
I'm honestly gonna have to say Daytona's still
the best album off good music.
It is. It is.
Like, I liked it because it's Nas, but it was just like, ooh, that Daytona, I can definitely throw that back on right now.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you know what? I could just go right to Daytona right now. Like, exactly. But which is a great, like, it's nice. But actually, what's really cool is seeing Kanye in all of these projects.
Right, you're getting like a whole bunch of sides of Kanye.
Who got the best Kanye verse so far?
Nas.
Nas. I love
Kanye. Actually was like spitting some shit and like saying some shit and was like very opposite of the MAGA Kanye and shit before. Like he kind of went like completely. Like it feels weird, honestly, because it feels like
it felt like
he
an
was
old
trying.
verse.
Yeah, it felt like very old. Like it felt like
yeah.
he was like. I don't know when he recorded this, but it felt like he was either like this way before he went on those rants, or this was him like trying to act like that shit never happened. Because like he tried to kind of go back to that old "I'm for the black people" Kanye.
But he got away with because it's not him on his own project. It's on the Nas in a verse, like so he's like it's for Nas, so it has to be. Nas isn't gonna let Kanye do some like what he did with Pusha, like like
definitely not.
Like how do I respond?
They're not about to have a back and forth like him and T.I. and shit.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that for Nas. So yeah, I think Nas got the best Ye verse. So
7 tracks is still bullshit for a 5 or 6 year wait for a Nas album. I'm gonna be just
dog. That's what's crazy though. Is Nas gonna give us the other one?
Facts.
Nas, give us the other album,
Facts.
Like for real. Just because, like, since Jay and Bay want to do that, here's the other one.
I mean, 7 tracks is cool for everybody else, but like, come on, bro, we waited 5 years for a Nas album, and 7 tracks is not enough. It's just not.
Though. For real. Kanye made Khaled a liar.
How?
Nas
album. But he said that 2 years ago, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
He scrapped that album. That shit somewhere.
He scrapped it to work with Kanye.
That shit somewhere.
Yeah. It's somewhere.
I don't know if we got any verses off of there, but that album's probably vastly different than how this one came out.
Yeah, he probably just recycled some stuff too, though.
Probably not too much.
Probably had a couple things. Probably not too much, but yeah. So yeah, Daytona's still the best in that bracket. So,
You guys let us know
but
which one you
Nas,
think is number one out of everything we got. We got Ye, we got Daytona, we got Kid See Ghost, now we got Nas. For me, it's Nas. For me, it's Daytona. Nas and Kid See Ghost are very close to each other for me, and then Ye. Ye by far is the one I almost never go back to.
yeah, yeah. I think Ye is the last for me. I guess it goes, yeah, Daytona. I don't know. It just hasn't been enough time. There's so much music. Like I would have to listen to these again.
Like
I
I'm
have
saying,
to
those two
hear.
are very close to me. I might actually have an edge to Kid See Ghost at the moment.
From what I remember with Kids See Ghosts, there's a lot of shit that I was like really into, and it's just been so long. Like you said, we were waiting for Nas. I've been waiting for Cudi for a minute. So like, I don't know. I'll have to wait.
You guys let us know what you thought about Nas's Nasir album. Was it worth the wait? Was 7 tracks enough? Was the A production perfect for him? Let us know in the comments down below wherever this goes up. So Jay-Z just can't let Nas live. I said in my reaction, I don't know if this is intentional, but it definitely feels petty.
Oh my god, this is the most petty shit I've ever seen, bro.
Nas dropped on Friday night, basically, and then Saturday morning we got a Beyonce and Jay-Z album that has been long rumored.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A long rumored and no rollout release.
Right.
With a fucking epic video.
I heard the excuse that it's for Juneteenth, but Juneteenth is on the 19th, so that excuse doesn't even work, bro.
Yeah, Juneteenth was the 19th. It was the Friday. So
that would make sense if they dropped it on Juneteenth.
It was yesterday, yeah.
But they didn't. They dropped it one day after Nas's album.
Yeah,
and apparently they're cool with them friends and whatever, so I'm sure he got a text message or something. Like, you had to know it was coming out, so I don't I don't know.
Yeah, Nas said he wasn't tripping, but
did he?
Yeah, I said I would be mad.
Yeah, it's a little whack.
Real whack.
Okay, so
like, what took all the thunder though? That's why I'm saying he needs to drop that other album.
It took all the thunder because it's Beyonce attached to it. Like, whenever she drops
if it was
something,
Hove, it would look petty as fuck. But because it's Beyonce and Hove, it's not petty.
Okay, so it's a solid album, but for me, it's not like anything groundbreaking or like awe-inspiring. Like, I was just like blown away by what I was hearing. I was like, oh, this is all very good. This is good. This is kind of what I expected from them.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to dissect it. I tried to put that one on replay just to see
I listened
if I was
more than a few times, and I was just like, my walk. At first, I was like, oh damn, some of these is fire. And then a couple more times, like, well, these are kind of just good, like just their typical good songs. It wasn't like.
I mean, Friends is a great song.
Friends is great. I love the production on Nice.
Nice is great.
I felt like Beyonce was talking a little too much shit for me, honestly.
What did I tell you though?
I told you
Beyonce was gonna rap. I said if they do a collaborative album,
she was singing, but she was rapping a lot.
I know. I said she was just gonna sing less and rap more.
She sounds fine. She sounds surprisingly good rapping, actually. Like, she can do it. She can hold it down. But just, she was talking like too much shit for me some points. It's just like, all right, bro. Like, I get it. Like, you're Beyonce, bro. Like, some points she called her Beezus. I'm like, oh my god, bro.
Oh.
All right, now. All right. So we got Hove and Beezus.
Oh my god.
I feel like she's like at that point in her career where she just doesn't care anymore, and like before she was like very careful about the shit she used to say and whatever. But ever since, I don't know, like not Lemonade, but like Beyonce was the first time where I was like, oh, she doesn't give a fuck right now. Like, she's.
Oh yeah.
She's kind of.
I mean, did you hear?
Flying her
the
shit a
reference
little
track
more.
for Ape Shit.
I did not. I didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care either.
Everybody knows people write for Beyonce.
I know. I just wanted to hear if one of the Migos sounded good.
They
And
had
what's
ad
funny
libs
is-
in the song.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, I was like, they're in the song.
I'm like, I
so,
don't know why people are
why
so
do you
surprised.
care?
Like,
Yeah.
you can hear the Migos, like, right there. Like, I thought it was a feature. I was
like-
legitimately thought
I
it
was
was
like,
a feature.
why would Beyonce say Patek? Like, why would Beyonce? Like, are you kidding me? Obviously, Offset or Quavo or one of them wrote that shit. Like,
For sure.
it was Offset flow for sure.
I mean, the album was pretty personal, like, more than we're used to getting from them. Like, from marriage and, like, just home life.
Love Happy is like,
Yeah. Love Happy is basically them addressing the whole infidelity shit, like, together for the first time.
yeah. That was like, oh, okay.
I like that whole back and forth. That was dope. Like, the opening,
Yeah,
like,
that was cool. That was cool. Definitely.
Jay
Heard
addressed
About
his
Us, though, is my
rumors.
jam. I'll bump that. Heard About Us. That shit's fire.
I bump all of it, but it's just not, like, spectacular. Like, it's not as good as
It's not what
444
it
or
should be.
Lemonade.
But you know what?
And it feels like throwaways from Lemonade.
Yeah, that Hope was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's rework it.
To be honest, I mean, they said they recorded a lot of shit during those sessions, so I'm assuming like a lot of these were older and were from those sessions, and they feel like throwaways.
Yeah, I mean, Summertime feels like they made it for last summer, but it's a great jam.
And whereas for me, like when like Jay and Kanye collabed, that shit was like fucking epic, and elevated both of their shits like to a whole nother level, and the production was out of the world and like all that shit. This felt like, oh, this is just cool. Like this isn't.
This felt
Not
like
epic,
Magna
like, this is
Carta.
like, okay.
This is like Jay-Z made Beyonce do a Magna Carta, basically. Holy Grail.
I don't know why you say that.
Do you remember that album?
Of course, I remember the album.
The album's fire,
Tom Ford.
but it's a little. It's not one of. It's not his top 4 or 5.
No, I don't think it lasts as long as some of his other albums for sure. But at that moment,
I'm
like,
just saying
it had
that's
cool
what
sounds.
this project felt reminded me of, like the energy and just like how I felt about the album after I listened to it was like not classic but good to bump, you know, like it was just like
Yeah, no, there's good songs, sonically pleasing. She talks a little too much shit. Jay,
She was talking some shit
Jay
on
addressed a lot of stuff.
Jay was talking some shit on there. People kept like saying that he talking about blah, blah, he talking about.
Jay always throws subliminals, so I mean, you'll never
He
know.
was talking about Ye a little bit.
You'll never know exactly what he's talking about, but you kind of know.
That's what's so funny about cutting off Nas, though. You think it was a little bit of Kanye shade too?
Nah, I don't think so.
'Cause just to like, oh, fuck up your.
I don't think so. I think they wanted for their tour and shit, but
Nah, but that totally could be shade.
could be. I mean, he
Because
does a lot of
they think
subliminal
Beyonce's
shit.
throwing shade. They think the shit talking was like to Kanye's girl, Kim.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not. Beyonce probably doesn't like him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who else has like superstardom
For doing
like,
nothing.
I mean, no, I'm just saying like in terms of like notoriety as a face
I don't know.
in the pop world. Kim does nothing, but she still is popular.
Yeah, for doing nothing.
Exactly.
No, I didn't walk away from this album thinking like, yo, this is so crazy. Like, oh my God, this is fire. Like, I walked away from Watch the Throne like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Like, yo, this is fire.
Oh yeah,
as
Watch
fuck.
the Throne.
Like,
That's what I hoped this would be a more like Watch the Throne.
they even referenced Watch the Throne in like their last track. But this is a far cry from Watch the Throne. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I mean, honestly, the visuals though, the music. This is another thing where the video is driving a project.
I mean, the video feels like a continuation of like Jay-Z's Family Affair.
Yeah,
Like that whole
it's
color palette
still
is
very
continuation.
Magna
like, they're
Carta,
still
Holy
following
Grail
that shit.
esque.
He does the whole art stunting again and all that shit.
Yeah, and the Louvre.
The Louvre.
Yeah, he rented out the Louvre. The Louvre is that shit is
I didn't
crazy.
even know you.
That was so beautiful.
I said that was
though.
like balling as fuck. I didn't even know you could rent out the Louvre. You know how big that shit is? That shit is ridiculous.
For those who are wondering if you can rent out the Louvre, no.
Like, you know how massive that is, and to rent that shit out, like, and to clear people out of that is
and have shit. Choreography in there, and like camera crews, and
be around all this priceless artifacts and paintings and
shit that's 300 years old.
I mean, it's cool. It was just like some grown folk type of music, kind of, honestly, and it just feels like they're old. Like it feels like they're older in it, and just like this is like their happy marriage type of collaboration joint, and it was like there's no real conflict, honestly.
Yeah, they threw ape shit in there.
And it was just like, oh, okay,
shake it up.
This feels
like, oh, we still got energy.
This feels like we're older now, and like this is our like whatever. But it wasn't like, didn't blow me away. Definitely didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
But I put it above Ye still, so there's that.
Oh, I definitely put it above Ye. I honestly
don't put. I put J-Rock honestly above this album.
You put who?
J-Rock.
Maybe.
For sure.
I mean, J-Rock's is long. Well, it's only 3 songs.
You keep saying long. It's 13 tracks.
I know, but it's literally longer than all the albums we're comparing it to right now. It is.
And it's full of bangers, and like, yo, he's spitting in there like, nah, bro. Like, I'm putting J up.
Yeah, his album is better. It's just packaged. It's perfect packaging.
But it was cool. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, cool. Whatever. Like, it wasn't like...
Yeah. But I mean, that's
so
J-Rock's
amazing.
best album versus Beyonce and Jay-Z kind of like, hey...
You can't say that because it's Beyonce and Jay-Z, their first album together. Like, you expect something... I didn't expect it was going to be crazy epic, but people expect it to be like some next level shit that like...
The expectations... But here's my thing. We got to check that right now. Because none of their songs have ever been super fucking flames to me. I never heard both of them on a song.
Crazy in Love?
That's not a fucking dope song.
It was a massive song, though.
It's a massive song. But Crazy in Love is not a... Oh, that's a go-to
Crazy in Love, she is a go-to song for her?
Yeah, but not for me.
Like, whenever she's on tour, like, she has to play that shit.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is those songs are not... Those aren't like... That's not what I'm listening for. Really.
03 Bonnie and Clyde?
It's a cool song. I mean, that's kind of what they were kind of like hinting at those vibes and shit.
No, they weren't. Drunken Love?
Drunken Love's their best effort. But didn't Jay-Z do the remix? Isn't that even a...
Yeah, it might have been the remix. I don't know. I'm just looking it up right now.
So I like one of their... So far, I like one of their collaborations.
You lying.
1 out of 3.
Because you like Crazy in Love.
Crazy in Love isn't that good.
You like 03 Bonnie and Clyde.
That song's okay.
I mean, Tupac's was way better when he did that shit, but...
Hell yeah, his is way better. And that was what's weird too. It's like all the like sampling they did. There was so much sampling and like bigging up, quote unquote, in this album.
Yeah, they took a lot of lyrics and kind of flipped them, or like, you know,
like that Chronic
them.
flip.
I mean, yeah, they did Dr. Dre and shit like that. That wasn't even the only one. Beyonce did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Lift Off. Technically, that's a Kanye, Jay-Z, and Beyonce song.
All right. That's a good song. Okay. I like that song.
So all I'm saying, when people see those two names together, they expect something like mind-blowing. Like when you see Kanye and Jay together, you're thinking like some life-changing music is about to come out.
I don't think there's a lift off. Is there a lift off on this album?
No. I don't. For me personally, no.
Huh. Yeah, I don't.
I already told you I wasn't blown away by it.
Summertime.
It's a cool song.
Summertime is what I think is their lift up.
But there's no songs here that I don't feel like I could not like live without.
Yeah, no.
Like where I'm watching throwing their songs in there that like I still go back to.
Right. No, nothing like struck me. I mean, maybe Friends, like I said, that
Friends
was
is
the
cool.
first one.
Nice. I love Nice. I love that beat on Nice, but it's like
Yeah.
it's not like something that I don't think I've ever not heard before,
Right.
conceptually or anything like So
I mean, 713 is growing on me now more.
I wasn't a big fan of it, and I don't think conceptually they did that much interesting shit on the album.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out
It
why.
just felt like more of a collection of songs than anything.
Yeah, like when Blue was talking, I was like, why isn't that more cohesive in like story?
Because these are throwaways.
Yeah, but still, it was just weird.
This wasn't like, let's go in the studio and like create this. Like they were just making songs.
Yeah.
These is what we get. Like, so.
Here you go. Well, thanks,
Carters. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their throwaways are better than like 95% of the people out there in music, but they're still just not as good as some of their highest shit, bro. Period.
True.
And when those two, and when people on that level work together, you expect your expectations should be better than just cool.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's cool.
That's how I feel about all these collaborations happening. It's too much, and there's not living up to the names.
Yeah, nobody's making good collaborations. Everyone needs to stop.
Let's just pump our brakes. Except for that Kendrick and J. Cole, I'll take that shit anytime.
Yeah, please and thank you.
But other than that, like I don't need Metro Boomin collaborating with the 50th artist or like Gucci or whatever. Like, come on.
Those don't count as collabs to me.
Or like Young Thug and whoever for the fourth time, like or
Young Thug,
Quavo and blah blah.
Young Thug's on that soundtrack that we were talking about with Future. I forgot. They have a song together.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know. Because I probably won't check it out because I'm not checking out the movie.
No, like I said, yeah. I was thinking Young Thug was like really starting to feel irrelevant until I noticed he was part of that project. So it's like, okay.
He's still kind of irrelevant. What's his last big song?
I mean, he's streaming as a feature.
But what's his last big song? Can't even name it.
Last big song. That's because all his latest efforts have been like designers.
You can't even name it.
They've been hitting like a designer effort, basically. Just not at all. They just haven't been hitting. Cause like that Nicki song should have hit. It didn't. Nobody even knows about it, I'm sure.
Runs are short in music, especially hip hop. So
right.
I'm not surprised. It's the natural course of music, like especially hip hop. It's unnatural to have like a Drake or Jay-Z or a Kendrick. Like those are like exceptions to the shit. Like those aren't like norms.
Right.
The norm is he's hot for like 2 years. Whenever we're harsh on
these people's albums, their albums are always better than most people's. We're just like harsh comparing their music to themselves, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I really liked a lot of the Beyonce rap, to be honest. Like, if I'm in the mood for her talking shit, that's the right kind of talking shit.
That's it. She talked, like I said, I don't mind her talking shit. It was just, some of it was like talking a little too much shit,
that shit,
bro.
Beyonce.
Talking a little too much shit.
The Hive's gonna get at you, bro. You better watch the Beehive out here.
I'll fry all of them.
They might come after you, bro.
Not worried about it. Beyonce she's great. She's overrated, but she's great. These are just facts.
I mean, she's the queen of all musicians.
She's one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Entertainer.
Facts. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's it. Those are the albums, basically all I've been listening to. The Nas, the Beyonce and Jay. I had to throw that X on again, I had to give it another listen.
Yeah.
It changes the way you listen. It changes the way you like hear the songs he did, for sure.
Definitely. it's almost crazy to have his music that is about sadness, like, be the thing helping you through being sad about
Oh,
it.
he helped a lot of kids with like depression and like just fucked up feelings about life and just that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he had fucked up shit, but he helped a lot of people too, and like his music helped a lot of people and influenced a lot of people, and it's just fucked up that at 20 years old he can no longer do that.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man.
Definitely rest in peace to X.
His music is good though. It's like it's good.
I mean, the music he had does have out will live on, so there's that. But I'm sure he wished he could have put out a lot more.
I just wanted to know more about him, like just
Yeah,
like
you
see
start
that
seeing
growth.
more of like the real side of him and stuff like that.
Yeah. But
I mean, it was kind of fucked. It was kind of like he was talking about his own death a lot, like especially recently and stuff like that. So there kind of was that aspect to it. It's like I don't know if there's something else going on or what, but don't wish your own death upon yourself, man. Say that.
No, for real.
Like put that energy out there in the universe. But that's it for this episode of Music Files. Let us know what you thought about anything we talked about, especially the Nas album, the Beyoncé and Jay album, your thoughts and feelings about, X passing. Just keep those thoughts, respectful. Because, there's somebody's son, brother, whatever, Today's date is June 20th, 2018. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're at. Instagram at Living Life Fearless or at LLF Official. Follow us, send us a message, we'll follow you back. This podcast will go up on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever podcasts are going up these days. This will be there, so you can check us out, follow us there, subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or topic suggestions, you can do so below in the comments section of wherever this goes up, or you can email us directly at podcast@livinglifefearless.co, or you can go to livinglifefearless.co/podcast and fill out the form, and we'll get back to you and maybe give you a shout out. Get one of these Rebel hats, Volume 2.
Yeah.
Before they run out, they are quickly running out, so
Yeah, there's not that many left.
get on it while you still can. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, share. Just do whatever you can. Help us out. Appreciate you listening. We will be back next week. And we did say that we were going to do the top 20 list, but we're going to wait until after Drake's album. It wouldn't feel right to do it right before Drake's album comes out. So
Yeah.
we're going to wait till after that to do the top 20, but we'll be back next week. Some more music and some more music news and just chop it up and maybe even have a guest next week. Thanks for listening. Keep living life fearless. Peace.
Living Life Fearless. Music Files. On that vintage life too.